The action is against several companies that refuse to go along with a national wage agreement signed by the UMW and the Bituminous Coal Operators Association. The AT Massey company in West Virginia is the largest of the coal operators not in compliance. There is a history in the coal fields of violence during strikes. Tom Buell of the Charleston Gazette describes the recent events of the strike.
There was bombing of some utility poles which carried power to a couple of mines and processing plants in the Mingo County, West Virginia area. And since the foliage has filled out the trees that cover those mountains down there, there have been an increasing number of sniper incidents. Coal trucks carrying non-union coal from Pike County, Kentucky to this plant in Mingo County, West Virginia have been shot at several times. One driver was killed last week. Everybody seems to have dusted off their deer rifles and sidearms on both sides. Some of them carry them openly. It's really quite scary down there for everybody. It's divided the whole community into pro-union and anti-union factions, really. The union people shop at certain markets. The non-union people shop at other markets. Really, the place resembles a war zone.
The driver that was killed last week in Kentucky, his name was Hayes West. He was driving a coal truck hauling non-union coal to a non-union coal processing plant. That really had nothing to do with the AT Massey Coal Company, right?
No, it was not directly related to the AT Massey dispute, although the union is striking against the company that he was carrying the coal to. It's the Samoyed Energy Company. The Samoyed dispute started about the same time as the AT Massey dispute, around October of last year, when Samoyed opened mines that weren't represented by the union. Everybody seems to think that the AT Massey dispute has had an effect on everybody in the area. It has made people more and more aware of what companies are with the union and what companies are against the union.
Mm-hmm.
The AT Massey officials have really latched onto that feeling and have used the death of Hayes West to tell the union they wouldn't stand for any of these violent tactics and that they would leave the negotiating table. The union responded by saying that since Hayes West didn't work for the AT Massey company, that the officials were using that as an excuse not to negotiate. The union has been trying for months to get the AT Massey companies to sit down and bargain as a common employer, really, rather than one company at a time.
If the AT Massey settlement were to come about, would most of these problems be over with there in the coal fields?
It certainly wouldn't bring an end to all the problems, but the conventional wisdom is that an AT Massey contract would go a long way toward solving a lot of the problems down there, relieving a lot of the tension.
Yeah, what are the chances for a settlement with AT Massey?
At this point, I'd have to say they're pretty slim. They're not negotiating now. The AT Massey people say they have no intention of returning to the table until the violence stops altogether. And state police in Kentucky are investigating a report that somebody in a non-union coal truck shot at a group of union miners who were standing by the side of a road. The shot broke a window but didn't injure anybody. So it's a catch-22 situation. The violence seems to be escalating as the strike lingers, and then AT Massey says they won't go back to the table to discuss a contract until the violence stops. So nobody seems to know quite when it will end.
In the meantime, Tom, is any coal at all being mined in the eastern Kentucky and western West Virginia coal fields?
Yes, and that's another irritant. These non-union companies are mining coal. The non-union trucking companies are carrying it, and the non-union processing plants are washing it, cleaning it, sorting it, and shipping it off on trains. That's a constant reminder to the union people that they are nowhere near working out these problems.
From Charleston, West Virginia, Tom Buell, a reporter for the Charleston Gazette.